assets sa inyong review, no? So, conventional redemption. So, conventional redemption is also known as acto de retro sale or sale with the right to repurchase. Retro, mabalik, no? So, NACAT is agreement act, no? So, naka you right na paliton balik, buyback ang property na inyong pinagda. It occurs when the seller specifically reserves the right to repurchase the sold item. So, the seller, iya do reserve ang iyang karapatan, no, na paliton balik ang item. To exercise this right, the seller must return the original price. Siyempre, ibalik niya dapat ang gibayad sa buyer. Contract expenses, legitimate payments, and any necessary and useful expenses made on the item by the buyer. So kung gusto niyo mo paliton balik ang item, or huwag mo balik ang item na inyong ibalik, dapat ibalik ko ninyo yung presyo or price na dibayad sa inyo ni buyer. Appeal na din ang mga expenses, necessary or useful expenses na di-spend sa buyer. So, isa yung mag-volunteer for this slide. Wala? Sige, magtawag ko. Sayang man ang additional points. Si Kisay wala gusto mag-volunteer. Silva, Chini, from section 3B. Silva, Chini.
Kini ma'am, kini impacto din sa sales.
Sige, tayo po basa sa this particular slide.
Pacto de retro sales. A pacto de retro sale or a sale with the right to repurchase is a purely contractual agreement where the title and ownership of the property are immediately vested in a buyer, then they a retro subject to a seller's vendor or retro right to repurchase the property within a stipulated period. It is a personal privilege reserved by the seller at the time of the contract's perfection and can be exercised by the seller or their transferee. Exercising this right creates reciprocal obligations. The seller must return the price and expenses, and the buyer must deliver the property and execute a deed of sale. The right binds third persons if it is registered in the registry of deeds.
Okay, thank you. Okay, si Silva from section 3B. So, upon the retro sale or a sale with the right to repurchase, na kay karapatan, again, ako explain, na kay karapatan seller na pwede paliton balik tong item na ibaligya sa buyer. This is a purely contractual agreement. Purely contractual agreement. So, in this case, the title and ownership of the property are immediately vested in the buyer. So, na-transfer na nila ang ownership sa buyer. No? Then, nag-stipulate mo, nagkaroon mo ng agreement na na-right ang seller na paliton or bawion ang iyang gibaligya within a stipulated period or agreed period. Let's say, for example, within 1 year, pwede na ako paliton balik sa imuha ang property. Bawion na ako sa imuha buyer ako ang gibaligya. Subject to, again, pagbayad ni seller sa pagbalik ni seller sa gibayad ni buyer, katong mga necessary and useful expenses na spend ni buyer, no? So, bayaran po to ni seller. Okay? It is a personal privilege, no? Privilege siya, okay? By the seller at the time of the contract's perfection and can be exercised by the seller or the transferee. So, ano siya, kailangan siya agreehan. Di siya, talaga privilege siya, ibig sabihin, kailangan ninyo sabutan. Dapat naa siya sa inyong kontrata. Dili siya automatic. Dili sa tanang sale, pwede nimo bawion. It must be agreed upon or stipulated. No? So, muna siya ang pacto de retrosis. So, exercising this right creates reciprocal obligations. So, kung i-exercise ninyo na privilege, no, na siya yung mga obligations. Like sa buyer, ibalik niya ang item kay seller. Si seller, ibalik niya ang dibayad ni buyer, ang pera na dibayad ni buyer. Again, this must be stipulated upon. Kailangan agreehan siya. Okay? Kung ang kaning nahitabo na pagbalik ni buyer kay seller, no, was registered in the registry of deeds. So kung naka-annotate siya sa likod sa titulo, then it will bind the third person because again, yung pagpa-annotate sa likod sa titulo, pagbutang sa transaction sa likod sa titulo is considered as an information to the whole world. Okay? Muna siya. Next, kinsa may pwede mag-volunteer for additional points direct to the prelims exam. Isa gusto magbasa for this particular.
Ako, ma'am.
Okay, Lucas.
An equitable mortgage is a contract that, despite lacking the formal requirement of a mortgage or being denominated as a sale, with or without a right to repurchase, shows the parties' clear intention. It involves a lesser transmission of rights than a sale. The debtor confers upon the creditor the right to collect from the value of the security, not full ownership. The law presumes a contract is an equitable mortgage if the intention was to secure an existing debt. A contract of sale with a right to repurchase is specifically presumed to be an equitable mortgage in certain cases. Distinction between a genuine contract of sale with a right to repurchase, facto de retro sale, and an equitable mortgage under Philippine law, especially referencing Article 1602 of the Civil Code of the Philippines. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Lucas. About mortgage. So the retroceding. An equitable mortgage is a contract naman that despite lacking the formal requirements of a mortgage or being denominated as a sale, with or without a right to repurchase, shows the party's clear intention to use the property as security for a debt. No, so, when we say mortgage, ang Tagalog na term is sanla. Ang mortgage is security nimo sa pagkakautang. So for example, ako, mangutang ko kay Lopez o 1 million pesos, then na ako'y property na 2 hectares na yuta. Yung 2 hectares na yuta, ako ang i-mortgage, gagawin ko yung security, mapangugwato ng security, no? Para mukhang tanda si Justin Lopez na mag-release of 1 million sa ako. So ako nga sa'yo, isala or iprenda na ako ang yuta sa inyo Justin para kampante siya o mag-release siya sa kuwag 1 million. No? Para makautang ko 1 million. So, wala ang mortgage. So, sa may equitable mortgage, it is a contract that despite lack siya sa formal requirements of a mortgage or gitawag na to siya og sale, baligya, no? Ginapakita sa mga parties nilang intention na gamiton lang ang property as security for a debt, no? Gigamit lang dahil ang property as security para sa utang. Ay, magandang class, sa real life ang God, no? Labi na ka ng ang nagbaligya yung unang panahon, yung mga kalulunuan na to, na wala tayong evidence sa ilang naging transaction, no? Ingon ni Lola, baligya daw ni. Pero ang ingon naman sa buyer, dili daw baligya, kuan daw ni, gisanla lang daw. So ang mga heirs, mga tagapagmana ni Lola, gusto nila bawion ang property. No? Pero ang katong legal side, no? For example, sa side nila Silva, hindi gusto nagipalit daw nila so dagdag version. Tinanala mo ang reality class. No, unang nakaliti sila ng mga concept. So, really, equitable mortgage, it is a contract, no? Wala kong mga formal requirements of a mortgage. Dili siya, um, um, wala tong mga, wala siya na put into writing, dagan siya kulang, dili siya notaryado, wala yung mga witnesses, for example, no? So, lacking ang formal requirements of a mortgage, or gituwag siya og sale, baligya. Pero in truth and in fact, ang intention di ay based sa mga actions sa mga parties, gigamit lang ang property as security, no? Para for a debt, security lang para sa utang. Ang actions nila sa mga parties nag-show na kaning yuta gigamit lang as security for the para makautang, no? Sinanla lang, dili din siya baligya. Okay? So, mo na ang concept sa equitable mortgage. So, sa nang mahitabuhan ni, it involves a lesser transmission of rights than a sale. Kasi, based sa ilang mga actions, dili siya baligya. Sanla lang, anak. The debtor confers upon the creditor the right to collect from the value of the security, not full ownership. No? So, the law presumes a contract is an equitable mortgage if the intention was to secure an existing debt. Okay? Na yung ibang parties, akala nila, baligya. Pero based sa yung mga actions, paano nyo masabi na based sa mga actions? For example, ang tawag ani, wala silang deed of absolute sale, wala silang nag-execute of deed of absolute sale. Prenda lang, ana. So, a contract of sale with a right to repurchase is specifically presumed to be an equitable mortgage in certain cases. To discuss the legal distinctions between a genuine contract of sale with a right to repurchase or pacto de retro sale and an equitable mortgage under Philippine law, specifically referencing Article 1602 of the Civil Code of the Philippines. Sa pacto de retro sale kasi, klaro yun na nakalibalik ka. No? Klaro na nakikasabutan na i-buyback, balikin o balik within 1 year ang certain property. Sa equitable mortgage, there's no inana ang agreement na i-buyback or wala yung ang agreement. Based sa kanilang mga actions, ang property is diprinda lang or disanla lang para makautang. Okay? Igamit lang siya as security for the debt para makautang. Okay? That is equitable mortgage. So, presumption of an equitable mortgage, isa gusto mag-volunteer, si Doronio, no, si Yabes, siya ang one.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon.
Presumption of an equitable mortgage. The law presumes a contract to be an equitable mortgage, a loan secured by property rather than a true pacto de retro sale if any one of several badges of an equitable mortgage is present. Indicators. A. An unusually inadequate price. B. The seller remaining in possession of the property. C. The extension of the redemption period. D. The buyer retaining a portion of the purchase price. E. The seller continuing to pay taxes on the property sold. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So, presumption of an equitable mortgage. The law presumes a contract to be an equitable mortgage or a loan secured by property rather than a true facto derecho sale. If any of one of the several badges of an equitable mortgage is present. So, ano yung mga key indicators na magsasabi na ay kani, kung ano siya, equitable mortgage rate, no? Gigamit lang ang property para security para makautang, no? Gigamit lang ang property as security para makautang. Dili ni siya facto directo say, walay baligya ani. One mga key indicators. Number one, unusually inadequate price. No. For example, um, property is worth, ang inyong utang is nasa around 1 million pesos. Ang worth sa yuta is nasa mga 10 million pesos. No? So, kung yun ang situation, kaya siya, equitable mortgage lang eh. No? Kaya ang utang nga ko is 1 million naman, pero kung iyong i-assess ang property na gisanla, nasa around 10 million. No? So there's unusually inadequate price. The seller remaining in possession of the property. Isanla niya, no? Pero wala man niya di-transfer ng ownership. Naaw pa rin sa kanya yung title, ang pangalan sa title na yapon kay seller. So walang naitabong paglihok sa property. Okay? Number three, the extension of the redemption period. So, na daw siya time. For example, ang facto directo kasi, usually, naka-state lang na 1 year. 1 year lang, pwede ka mag-buyback. After that, wala. Pero sa equitable mortgage or pag magsagla ka property para makautang ka, wala mo giblihan na time. Ang inyong naging basis is kung kailan mabayaran yung utang. So, kana, equitable mortgage na. Number four, the buyer retaining a portion of the purchase price. So, ang buyer, nasa kanya yung nasa portion dito sa kuan sa, di ba, when we talk about purchase price, dapat yun yung amount na ibabayad mo sa seller. Pero ang buyer, nasa kanya, na-retain sa kanya, wala siya kumakan. No? Wala siya, uh, wala siya naghatag og money sa seller, pambayad sa property. Bagkus, naghatag siya og money, kang utang. Dito, mangutang kuno ang debtor. No? So, wala siya nagbayad for the property. Nagpautang siya. So, in that case, equitable mortgage. The seller continuing to pay taxes on the property sold. Okay, isanla niya ang property kay Justin, no? Pero siya pa rin naman yung nagbabayad ng real estate tax. So in that case, wala'y naitabong sale, no? Wala'y facto director sale, but bagkus, there is an equitable mortgage. Equitable mortgage, sinanla niya lang yung property para siya ay makautang. Wala siyang concept sa equitable mortgage. Next. Isa gusto magbasa ni Saraga Erica, Section 3E.
Yes, ma'am. Intention of the parties. The primary intention of the parties is considered paramount if the real intent is to secure the payment of a debt
The contract is treated as a loan guaranteed by a mortgage. Legal protections. This legal interpretation is designed to protect vulnerable sellers from potentially unfair lending practices and to prevent the circumvention of laws against assu- usury.
Usually,
Illustrative usury. Illustrative case. The text begins a hypothetical case involving Ross and Chandler to illustrate this principle in practice. Thank you, ma'am.
sige, kani, basahan niyo siya. Kani, Ross and Chandler. Kasi, wag na lang muna. Wait lang. Balik
Sige.
muna. Silay na lang para na ang chance ko na ba. Thank you, sa RAGA from Section 3E. The intention of the parties. The primary intention of the parties is considered paramount. So, if the real intent is to secure the payment of a debt, the contract is treated as a loan guaranteed by a mortgage. So, paano mo, man, isa na ito pagkalibalo sa intention. So, ang intention class, kung sa criminal law, no, ang intention sa parties is makita nimo sa kanyang actions. So, ano yung mga actions nila? So, di mo mabasa kung ano yung intention ng mga partido. Okay? Legal protections. This legal interpretation is designed to protect vulnerable sellers from potentially unfair lending practices and to prevent the circumvention of laws against usury. Kasi, mga yun yung reality. Na yung ba magpautang, yung ako kay interest. Pauna na lang sa interest ang utang. No? So, kaya naatay mga yun anin na mga rules. Now, let's proceed with slide 27. I-down na na ko yung arot siya. Sige, arot siya. Section
3E, ma'am.
okay.
Sample A, Ross and Chandler. A sale contract was used to disguise a loan agreement with assurances that the property could be bought back. The court would likely interpret this an unequitable mortgage. Example B, Monica and Rachel. Rachel took immediate possession and Monica offered no proof of repayment or objection over time. The circumstances confirm it was a sale and the right to repurchase was not exercised. Example C, Amy and Bernadette. Multiple adjustment to the redemption price to incorporate additional loan were inconsistent with a true pacto de recto sale, indicating an equitable mortgage. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Arocha. So, one more example. A sale contract was used to disguise a loan agreement. No? Kunwari daw, hindi mo sila upa ng contract of sale. Pero, ang tinuod, ang ilang enter is loan. A sale contract was used to disguise a loan agreement with assurances that the property could be bought back. So, facto de retro sale. Buyback, palito ni mo balik ang property. The court would likely interpret this an equitable mortgage. So kung ang true intention of the parties ay loan, so that is, kung loan yun ang nilang intention, then interpret na sa court as an equitable mortgage. Set of example, Rachel took immediate possession and Monica offered no proof of repayment or objection over time. The circumstance confirmed it was a sale, and the right to repurchase was not exercised. So mani, sa second situation, si Rachel nag-took possession. So ibig sabihin, di-occupy na niya ang property. No? Then si Monica naman, wala naman siya hindi siya nag-offer ng repayment na palitin niya balik. Wala po siya nag-object for a long period of time, si Rachel ang nandoon sa property. So in that case, i-interpret na sa court as sale. So depende ito sa actions class sa mga parties. No? Next. multiple adjustments to the redemption price to incorporate additional loans were inconsistent with a true facto de retro sale. So, sige lang kag-adjust sa nanay agreement, si Amy and Bernadette, sige lang sila adjust sa redemption price ko, no? Bawion ang property, i-change na ko dato ang price, ana. So, kung siya nga actions, dili dahil wala nila gina-adjust ang price. But, ang gina-add na lang daw nila is ang interest kay walay bayad-bayad ang isa ka party. No. So, nag-interest na dahil ang utang. In this case, i-interpret siya sa court as an equitable mortgage. This is a loan with security for an utang. Loan siya. Equitable mortgage ni siya. Loan siya because nagamit siya o property to secure the debt or the utang. Equitable mortgage. Next, volunteer. Okay, applyo. Jamel, from section 3B.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Through pacto di retro sale, if there are no other conditions to suggest a different intention, the contract is treated as a genuine sale subject to repurchase. In general rule, in case of doubt, a contract that appears to be a sale with a right to repurchase shall be construed as an equitable mortgage. This rule also applies to contracts purporting to be absolute sales in the terms are ambiguous or the circumstances suggest otherwise. Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you, applyo. So, through facto the retro sale, if there were no other conditions to suggest a different intention, the contract is treated as a genuine sale subject to repurchase. Wala siyang mga pili lang ang sabot. Pwede na ako palito na ubalik ang ako ang gibaligya within a period of 1 year. Ay na lang yung sabot. Wala na yung mga topic about interest, wala na yung topic about tawag ani pag dili makabayad, kay kwaon ang property, wala na yung mga inyong anak na topic. Ang topic lang is palito na kung balik ang property within 1 year. Natay stipulated period, natay agreed period 1 year. Anak lang ang factor de retrosin. General rule, in case of doubt, a contract that appears to be a sale with a right to repurchase shall be construed as an equitable mortgage. This rule applies to contracts purporting to be absolute sales if the terms are ambiguous or the circumstances suggest otherwise. Kumingot ka, so lang ambiguous na. Kaya naglisod ang kong sabot. Ambiguous is walang klaro. Kung ambiguous, ibig sabihin walang klaro. So, the contract that appears to be a sale, parang sale siya with a right to repurchase, pero dagato siya mga add-ons na mga agreement, no? Wala. So, nag-talk pa sila about interest, nag-talk pa sila about security, so, di nakakasabot ang sa impact to the retro or equitable mortgage. Ang ano sa law is kung libog ang inyong agreement, ang presumption sa law is that it is an equitable mortgage. Kung libog, kung hindi klaro ang agreement. Next. Volunteer for slide 29. Sige, Lorilia from also section.
3D, ma'am.
Okay.
Equitable mortgage. A contract of sale with the right to repurchase is considered an equitable mortgage if certain conditions are met. In such cases, the title remains with the seller, debtor, the buyer, creditor can recover the amount loaned, and the remedy for default is foreclosure and public auction. Reformation of instrument. This is a legal remedy allowing a written document to be amended to reflect the true intention of the parties when the instrument does not express that it mistake, fraud, or accident. It requires that there was an actual meeting of the minds between the parties. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Lodelia. So, a contract of sale with the right to repurchase is considered an equitable mortgage if certain conditions are met. So, ito mga discuss na ito kanina na layo lang tayo ang price, inequitable yung price, tapos may discussion about interest, walay klaro yung agreement. So, i-consider good siya. Although, nakabukang sa kontrata, contract of sale with right of to repurchase, pero yung mga actions ng mga parties, hindi na consider siya as security for a event, then consider siya sa law as an equitable mortgage. Mo lang ipasabot aming first paragraph. Okay? Now, unsa may reformation of instrument? Ang reformation of instrument is, it is a legal remedy. Remedyo siya, no? Muna ang proseso na atong pagkabuhaton, no? Allowing a written document to be amended to reflect the true intention of the parties when the instrument does not express that intention due to mistake, fraud, or accident. So, it is a written document, no? Na or a reformation is a legal remedy that will allow a written document or instrument or usa ka kontrata na makoreksyon, na makorek in order to reveal in that contract kung unsa yun ang true intention of the parties. Okay? Kung wala na reveal ang true intention sa mga parties because of fraud, no? Ang limbong sa pikas party, ang kabilang party, or na ay mistake or accident na nahitabo kaya hindi na-reveal sa kontrata kung ano yung true intention nila. So, pwede ka mag-file of petition sa court for the reformation of the, for example, deed of absolute sale or reformation of a contract. Petition na siya. Civil case na siya. Okay? So, it requires that there was an actual meeting of the minds between the parties. So, that one, there's a state contract. No? Pero wala lang na-reveal ang true intention of the parties because of this fraud, mistake, or accident. Because of this, wala lang na-reveal ang true intention. So, wala siya. Pwede ka mag-file a petition sa court for the reformation of property. Next. Slide 30. Okay, Sual Baguio from section 3D.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Cases of reformation. The apparent seller may ask of reformation in case referred to an Article 1602 and 1604 of the Civil Code, such as if the price is unusually inadequate, or if the vendor remain in position as a lease, if the real intention was to secure the payment of the debt or performance of an obligation, right to repurchase, conventional redemption. The right to repurchase is the right expressly reserved by the seller in a sale with the right to repurchase, allowing the seller to recover the property by returning the price and required expenses. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So, cases for reformation. So, again, ang reformation, pwede na ito pagkabuhaton if there is, wala na klaro sa kontrata ang true intention sa mga parties. So, kano sa ka pwede mag-file for petition for reformation of a contract? Number one, if the price is unusually inadequate, kulang yung ibig na agreean nyo, nagsabot yung Sual Baguio na 1 million ang pabaligyan sa yuta, yan, kulangan of zero, na imong 100,000 lang, kaya na tinanga ang nag-type, no? So, pwede ka mag-petition for reformation. If the vendor remains in possession as a lessee, no? ang vendor ang nagbaligya, kaya murag siya nagyapon ang nagunit sa property as parang siya ang nagrenta. So, klaro na kung sa mga ginagawa. Contract of lease, contract of sale, kung sa mga ganyan. If the real intention was to secure the payment of a debt or performance of an obligation, so sa mga ganyan, ginagamit lang ba nato ang property as security sa sa pag-loan, para pagpautang, or ginabaligya na bibili ang property sa ako. Kaya kung anak ba usually ang problema sa real world, no? Ang agreement kay ang agreement kay security lang sa pagpautang. Tapos pag di na mabayaran, ako na inyong yuta. So, unsa man yun? So, kaya siya kung iklaro sa parties or sa remedy nga reformation. Okay? So, right to repurchase, na-discuss na natin na ganyan. So, the conventional redemption is the right to repurchase the property, no? Pero expressly reserved siya by the seller in a sale with the right to repurchase, allowing the seller to recover the property by returning the price and required expenses. Pero, okay, yun sa ang pinaka-nitty-gritty ni details. Kasi gusto mo basa? Slide 31. Yes. Jeremiah J. Williams, section
3, ma'am. Here rules on period of redemption. Article 1606. If no period is stated, redemption must be exercised within 4 years from the contract date. If a period is agreed upon, it must be exercised within that period but not exceeding 10 years. Any stipulation exceeding 10 years is avoid as to the excess. If the contract's nature is disputed and later declared by the court as a sale with right to repurchase, the seller has 30 days from final judgment to redeem.
Guillermo. So, key rules on period of redemption. So, Article 1606, kailan ka pwede mag-redeem? Redeem, ibig sabihin, mag-buyback o bawion ang property. If no period is stated, one more agree. After the retro, there's an agreement. Okay? Pero what if, conventional redemption ni? Wala ka nag-agree sa period kung gano'n sa i-buyback o i-redeem ang property. So redemption must be exercised within 4 years from contract date. Contract date kung kano sa mo nag-agree or kano sa mo nagpilimahan sa kontrata. If a period is agreed upon, kaya na ang period, second, nag-agree mo 6 years. So it must be exercised within that period. 6 years. Pero hindi dapat siya mo nag-pass of 10 years. Any stipulation exceeding 10 years is void as to the excess. For excessive na po kayo kung 10 years pa mo pwede lugi na po ang buyer anak. If the contract's nature is disputed and later declared by the court as a sale with right to repurchase, the seller has 30 days from final judgment to redeem. Pero pagka nagkasuhay na mo, no? Nagkasuhay mo, ang court mag-decide na, o nag-declare ang court na, okay, nasa right to repurchase, nasa karapatan na balik ang property, the seller has 30 days. Nasa tagaan na siya sa court ng 30 days from final judgment to redeem. So, syempre, kung redeem ka, kailangan mo bayaran ang property, no? Or bayaran mo po, ibalik mo ang ibayad sa buyer, plus necessary and useful expenses. Okay? Next. Isa willing. Slide 32. Okay. Una si Vega. Vega from section 3E. Plus, walang nagtatapawag na kung nani siya number ko. Kung tulo kabot ang mag-raise of hands. Mabutang og number ang Google Meet insay nakauna og raise. Okay? Sige, Beda.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Essential requirements: the right to repurchase must be expressly reserved in the contract. Otherwise, the sale is absolute. Effect of failure to redeem: if the seller fails to redeem within the period, ownership is consolidated in the buyer by operation of law. Just a judicial order is required only the register, the consolidation in the registry of deeds not to acquire ownership.
Okay, thank you, Beda. So,
Thank you.
essential requirement. The right to repurchase must be expressly reserved in the contract. So, dapat na din siya, ibig sabihin, nakasulat siya. Kung may kontrata, dapat nakasulat siya. Pero kung wala mo rin nag-agreehan as to the right to repurchase, so ang tawag ninyo sa kontrata is deed of absolute sale. Kasi deed of absolute sale, mo na din gihatag ang ownership, isugot na din ka, transfer na lang mo sa buyer, ibaligya na din dito ang sa buyer ang property na walang any conditions. Okay? So, muna siya. So, ang right to repurchase, it must be agreed upon. It must be agreed upon. Effect of failure to redeem. If the seller fails to redeem within the period, the ownership is consolidated in the buyer by operation of law. No? So, kung wala, nag-agree mo for 1 year na siya karapatan mag-buyback, pwede niya kalitong valid ang property, pero wala exercise ni seller ang yung right to buy back the property, then the ownership will be transferred na sa buyer. A judicial order is required only to register the consolidation in the registry of deeds, not to acquire ownership. So, ownership is consolidated in the buyer by operation of law, no? Then, pwede mag-issue ang court, kung nagka-problema mo, no? Pwede mag-issue ang court of judicial order para i-consolidate ang ownership sa buyer. Okay? And pwede na siya i-record sa likod sa titulo. Okay? Next. Okay. Si Vega humana na, si Uyang Goren. Uyang Goren 3D. Uyang Goren.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Against third persons, the right to repurchase is a real right. It may be enforced against subsequent possessors unless the property is registered and the right is not annotated, and the buyer is a purchaser in good faith. Rights of buyer are retro. The buyer may possess, enjoy fruits, alienate, or mortgage the property, subject to the seller's right to repurchase. Upon redemption, the property must be returned free from charges and mortgages, but leases made in good faith must be respected. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So, against third persons, the right to repurchase is a real right. When we say a real right, ito yung right na pwede mong exercise against the whole world, sa lahat ng tao. It may be enforced against subsequent possessors unless the property is registered and the right is not annotated and the buyer is a purchaser in good faith. So, syempre, ang right to repurchase is nakasulat sa kontrata, na-agreehan siya. So, it is, since na-agreehan siya, so pwede mo na siya i-insist against all persons, tatanang tao. Bilang na siya ang transaction between the seller and the buyer. Real right siya. So, it may be enforced against the subsequent possessors. Pwede mo siya i-enforce ang yung right to repurchase sa mga nakarenta sa property. No? Except lang dito sa buyer na nakapalit in good faith. na naaday mo anak na kasabutan. So, mag-isip yun o repurchase sa property. Especially if na-work na mo ang time or period to redeem the property. Rights of a buyer are retro. The buyer may possess, enjoy fruits, alienate, or mortgage the property subject to the seller's right to repurchase. So the buyer may possess, pwede niyang i-possess or gumitan ang property. Pwede niya i-enjoy ang mga fruits ang mga property. I-alienate or mortgage the property. No? Pwede niya i-prenda ang property mo sa right sa buyer, ha? So, pero, even if gano'n, it is still subject to the seller's right to repurchase, especially if nandun pa siya sa period. Upon redemption, the property must be returned free from charges and mortgages, but leases made in good faith must be respected. So, pero kung ibalik na lang siya sa seller, so dapat ang obligation sa buyer is ibalik ang property dito sa seller. And kung ibalik niya ang property dito sa seller, the property must be returned free from charges. No? Wala siyang mga kulang charges and mortgages. Pero yung mga leases doon, yung mga lease doon, it must be respected. Next, slide number 34. Wait, go through lang ako, ha? Sige, okay. Slide number 34. Solon 3E.
The seller must return 1. The price of the sale. 2. Expenses of the contract and registration. 3. Necessary and useful expenses made on the property. Mere intent to redeem and insufficient. There must be actual tender or consignation of payment. Fruits. Art 1617. Existing fruits at sale are not reimbursed unless paid for. Fruits existing at redemption, if not at sale, are prorated based on position during the last year, unless otherwise agreed.
Solon din yung apelido, no? Solon?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Solon,
Ano, ma'am?
Solon din yung apelido?
Yes, ma'am.
Kaya ako mo kung ginalista yung mga names na nag-recite this afternoon. So, para mabutaan na to ang points sa prelims. Okay? Plus, ako ang question sa prelims, very basic lang and objective. Multiple choice lang from items 1 to 60. Wala po yung fill in the blanks. Wala yung modify true or false. Nag-ano ako, multiple choice, basic lang, ha? Kaya, din ako mag-review sa inyo for the exam. Okay? Now, the seller must return the price of the same. Wala yung obligation sa seller na nag-exercise of right to repurchase. Expenses of the contract and registration. Kung pila ang nabayaran sa abogado, sa pagparehistro, kailangan iyapo ng i-reimburse sa buyer. Necessary and useful expenses made on the property. Kung kailangan na siya i-preserve, for example, kung sakyanan na, kailangan mo i-change oil, kailangan mo i-check ang tires, i-calibrate, i-tune. So, katong mga expenses, kailangan ibalik na sa seller dito sa buyer once the exercise ni seller ang right to repurchase. Mere intent to redeem is insufficient. There must be actual tender or consignation of payment. Kaya siya sa mga sitwasyon na mag-tender of payment ka or mag-consignation. What if di gusto ang buyer na i-exercise niya yung right of redemption? Pero na may agreement na siya right to repurchase the property. So in that case, pwede mag-tender of payment ang seller dito sa court, no? Or mag-consignation sa court. Dili ka lang ako sa court ibayad ang ako ang kuan. Ang ako ibayad dapat sa buyer. Then, ang court or ang judge ang mag-rule kung pwede ba i-exercise ni seller yung right to repurchase. Okay? As to the fruits, existing fruits at sale are not reimbursed unless paid for. So, pag mga existing na mga fruits at the time of sale, no, dili na siya i-reimburse, no, dili na siya bayaran. Unsa na lang reimburse sa Bisaya, dili na siya taplan, bro, ana. So, fruits existing at redemption, if not at sale, are prorated based on possession during the last year unless otherwise agreed upon. So, depende sa inyong nasagutan. First, kung namin agreement. Pero kung wala may agreement, so, the fruits existing at redemption are prorated. So, kung pila lang po mga nitubo ng mga fruits sa yuta, for example, kung ibunga ba ang mga mangga sa yuta na i-subject for sale, no, katulad po ang pwede ninyo. Katulad po ang pwede bayaran sa seller na gusto i-repurchase or palitong balik ang property. Okay? Alam na siya. Article 16, 17. Next, slide 35. John, nawala si John J. Ang second kay si Alcazar. Sige, pag may Alcazar, si Rico. Okay? Nalibog na ko. Alcazar, then Rico.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
3E. Okay.
Co-ownership rules. Co-ownership who sold jointly may redeem only their respective shares. If one buyer later acquires the whole property, he or she may require redemption of the entire property. If shares were sold separately, each seller may redeem independently, and the buyer cannot compel full redemption. Heirs. If the seller dies, each heir may redeem only the portion inherited. If the buyer dies, redemption is enforceable against each heir for their respective share unless the property is awarded to one heir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Alcazar. Sige, pag-umana ka si Rico. Okay, for more. Magandang nag-ratio man. So, pero, alam mo ba siya numbering class ha? So, nasa na to ang next case is Rico na to kanina. Okay, co-ownership. Co-owners who sold jointly may redeem only their respective shares. No? So, co-owners ng good class, mura na, kunyari, sa kayuta, kung nakapansin mo sa mga title sa inyong mga lola. So, si Lola, nasa 5 ka-anak. Si Lola, nasa bibilig na property. No? So, ang real property na bibiling is 5 hectares. So, nasa 5 ka-anak. So, itong mga 5 ka-anak, sila ay ginatawag na co-owners sa property. No? Co-owners sila sa isa ka property. So, silang 5 ang nag-iya. Okay? So, owners who sold jointly may redeem only their respective shares. So, kung sila, binigyan nila ang property as co-owners, pwede lang po nilang i-redeem, no? Ang share, yan, na right to repurchase. Pwede lang nila i-redeem itong portion or katulong inahang share. So, kung 5 hectares, o di ba ito mag-igsoon, kung ilang 1 hectare lang na yuta, ang pwede nilang i-redeem. If one buyer later acquires the whole property, he or she may require redemption of the entire property. So, kunyari, isa lang ang buyer sa co-owned na yuta, then, pwede na po na i-exercise ang redemption sa whole property or sa entire property sa mga seller. No? Kapag mga seller, kung nabigyan na mga co-owners. So, pwede na po nila i-exercise ang redemption as a whole. Kasi isa lang naman ang buyer. If shares were sold separately, each seller may redeem independently and the buyer cannot compel full redemption. So what if si co-owner 1, co-owner 2, co-owner 3, co-owner 4, co-owner 5, ibaligyan nila ang ilang mga transaction. So katong si co-owner na naging seller, no, ibaligyan niya 1 hectare kay buyer 1, siya na po ang pwede katulapod ang seller 1 from buyer 1, no? Ang makabuyback. Dito po, katulapod na share ang pwede niya mabuyback, no? Ana siya. Okay? Dili po di mo pwede makumpel ang buyer na, uy, kamong tulo, kamong 5 ka-buyers, o kamong tulo ka-buyers, sa 5 hectare na lang, i-uksol ka muna, alito ninyo ibalik ang property or give up ninyo ang property, balito na mo balik, hindi pwede ana. Okay? So heirs, if the seller dies, each heir may redeem only the portion inherited. So mo lagi na, pag na yung mga heirs, sa bisang tagapagmana, katulong kung portion sa ilang gisundan, no? Kung asa sila nagmana, katulong kung ang pwede nilang ma-redeem, okay? Or mabaligya balik. If the buyer dies, redemption is enforceable against each heir for their respective share, unless the property is awarded to one heir. So, kung namatay ang original buyer, syempre ang original buyer na siya yung mga tagapagmana po. So, katong seller na gusto mag-redeem or mag-buy back sa property, hindi niya pwede mapugos kung mga heirs, mga tagapagmana sa buyer na namatay, no? Na pagsan yun na, uy, pwede ko rin yung property, ha? Kung hindi sila musugot, kung ownership naman ending anak class, so kung hindi sila gusto i-immediate bank kung nilang share or i-buy back ang share, or agreement as to the repurchase, no? Hindi mo pwede mapugos kung heirs, isa sa mga heirs sa buyer. Okay? Kaya co-ownership kasi siya. Co-ownership. Okay? Ang pwede lang nyo makakuha is kung portion lang yun sa property na owned by that heir or tagapagmana. Okay? Next. Suiko.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Section 3E.
Legal redemption. Legal redemption is the right of a person to take the place of a buyer by reimbursing the purchase price under the same terms and condition. It applies to both movable and immovable property acquired by onerous title. Example, sale or donation and payment. It does not apply to barter, inheritance, mortgage, or lease. Thank you po.
Thank you, Siko. So, pag magbasa mo sa akin, let's go na yung punto ko lang. So, thank you. So, legal redemption is the right of a person to take place of a buyer by reimbursing the purchase price under the same terms and conditions. So, legal redemption. Nakakaot na legal redemption. Kasi, di naman ito mahulog sa conventional redemption kay conventional redemption pag wala'y away. Okay? As to pag-redeem sa property. Pero pag magkaroon na din nag-away, direct na mapasok ang legal redemption. Right of a person to take the place of a buyer by reimbursing the purchase price under the same terms and conditions. It applies to both movable and immovable property acquired by onerous title like sale or sale. It does not apply to barter, inheritance, mortgage, or lease. So, legal redemption, always remember na ay sale na nahitabo. Okay? Then, hindi siya pwede, onerous ang title. So, burdensome or sale siya. Okay? Legal redemption, nahulog ang legal redemption kay nagka-conflict na ay isa sa mga parties na hindi gusto i-buy back ang property. So, nahulog ka o legal redemption. Next. Okay. Na ay nakabutang din na number. Ang una kay si John Frontier Mogatas.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Kung sa section?
FM3E po, ma'am.
3E.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay.
Number 1, redemption by co-owners Art 1620. A co-owner may redeem a share sold by another co-owner to third party or stranger. If the price is grossly excessive, the court may reduce it. If 2 or more co-owners redeem, they do so in proportion to their shares. Redemption cannot be exercised against another co-owner, only against a stranger. Redemption by one co-owner benefits co o- co ay, all co-owners. Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
So, thank you. So, Hans, ano na, ayaw na i-read yung mga bugata sa para mo sakaan ka itong mga gusto mag-resign. So, i-put na imong hands bugatas. So, i-put sa ikaw na bugatas. Ikaw na mag-lower sa
Ma'am.
hand.
Ay, okay po, ma'am.
Okay. So, if ang co-owners, mga kapwa ng co-owners gusto mo buyback, so kung na redeem a share, pwede niya bawin lang ng share, no? But sold by another co-owner to a third party or stranger, mean. If the price is grossly excessive, the court may reduce it. So, kung nakuha po kayo ang presyohan, na may times last na labi na pagjuta, ipaligya sa inyong igsuon. Igsuon ni mama, ibaligya ang property. Wala siya nalanggit sa iyang kapatid. So, ibaligya lang nila diretsyo ang property. So, pwede i-exercise sa co-owner, at sa iyang kapatid, at kung wala na inform about the baligya, no, pwede nila bawion ang share na nabaligya dito sa third person. Pwede gani i-ayuson sa court kung grossly excessive or dako ang kayo ang presyuhan na gihatag. If two or more co-owners study, they do so in proportion to their shares. So, ang pwede ko nila ma-redeem is kung share lang po nila. Redemption can be exercised against another co-owner and against his stranger. So, moto, gibaligya sa isa ka igsuon ang property, ang ibang yuta, wala uninformed or wala informed ang isa sa mga igsuon. So, pwede lang nila i-redeem or bawion ang share dito coming from the stranger. So, redemption by one co-owner benefits all co-owner. So, kung isa lang ang exercise sa pag-buyback or pag-increase sa property, no? Ipalit niya ang tanan, no? So, pwede, ipalit niya ang tanan, since co-ownership siya, pwede nila tanan maka-benefit sa action sa isa ka co-owner. Kasi co-owner, kaming tanan, owner sa property. Although, meron mong kanya-kanyang shares. Okay? Pero technically, kaming tanan, you own the property equally, although na ay sharing, na may kanya-kanyang shares. Next, John J. Tanyas. Tanyas is from section
3D, ma'am.
Okay. Redemption.
Redemption of hereditary rights, Art 1088. If an heir sells his or her hereditary rights to a stranger before partition, the other heirs may redeem the rights. Redemption must be made within 1 month from written notice of the sale. Thank you, ma'am.
So, ano lang ito sa passing through na lang ni kayo, wala na kayo mag-focus sa redemption sa inyong exam. Pero discuss lang natin siya. Redemption of hereditary rights, if an heir sells his or her hereditary rights to a stranger before partition, the other heirs may redeem the rights. So, bilang kami ng partition, wala pa rin ang mga ay sa mga nakabilin, sa mga lulo o lula, ang mga mag-igsuon, pero ibaligyan na sa isa sa mga heirs o mga tagapagmana niyang rights, no? So, pwede daw i-redeem sa co-heir, no, sa mga kapwa niya tagapagmana, ang rights sa nagibaligya sa heirs. Pwede niya ma-redeem. Redemption must be made within 1 month from written notice of the sale. So, mali siya ang parang rule. Pero wala ko ng focus ang redemption sa inyong exam, ha? Next. Doronyo?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Kaning 3, ma'am.
Yes po.
Redemption by owners of adjacent rural lands, Article 1621. Applies when rural land, agricultural not exceeding 1 hectare, is sold to a non-adjacent owner who already owns rural land. Lands must not be separated by roads, rivers, or similar barriers. If multiple adjoining owners wants to redeem, preference is given to the smaller landowner or to the one who first requested redemption. Cannot be exercised against an adjacent buyer.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you. I-memorize niyo yung not exceeding 1 hectare. Okay, well, namin siya sa exam. Yun sa kung mga na-questions. The objective type lang ta. So, redemption by owners of adjacent rural lands. So, klaro ta, adjacent, tapad, owners sa tapad na rural land. Ang yuta, kayo nasa bukid, province, probinsya. Okay? Rural, di urban. So, it applies when the rural land or agricultural land not exceeding 1 hectare, wala nilang pasok 1 hectare, is sold to a non-adjacent owner who already owns the land. Not just that be separated by roads, rivers, or similar barriers. If multiple adjoining owners want to redeem, preference is given to the smaller landowner or the one who first requested redemption. So, depende kung siya ba ang smallest landowner, pero adjacent siya, ibig tapat niya kung yuta na gusto nila i-redeem or paliton, or to the one who first requested the redemption. It can be exercised against an adjacent buyer. Okay. Next. Wala si Doronyo, si Angelo Flores.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Pre Preemption and redemption of adjacent urban lands, Article 1622, applies to the urban land that is too small or impractical for use in both merely for speculation. Preemption exercised before the sale. Redemption exercised after the sale. Preference is given to the adjoining owners whose intended use is best justified. An adjoining owner cannot be redeemed or a larger lot than his own.
Okay, thank you, Flores. Go through lang na to. Go through. So, preemption and redemption of adjacent urban land. So, kami naman, okay, pwede na i-down na ni doon yung iyong hands. Okay? Talong po doon yung lower sa hands. Doon nyo, talong po lower. So, preemption and redemption of adjacent urban lands. It applies to urban land that is too small, impractical for use, and both merely for speculation. So, preemption, exercise before the sale, pwede mo siya preemption, no? Exercise mo siya before ang baligya. Redemption is after the sale, bawi una ni mo, redeem. Preference is given to the adjoining owner whose intended use is best justified. So, one ang nasa law, na katong adjoining owner na ay good intention to buy back or redeem ang yuta, siya ang pwede makapalit. An adjoining owner cannot redeem a larger lot than his own. So, katong smaller lang, hindi ko pwede magpalit o mag-redeem o property na mas dako pa ang size sa yuta na naaka. Katulad yun, ang smaller na portion or smaller na area na than you own ang pwede mo ma-redeem. Gawin nyo, kanyo po bawang signals. Gawin nyo. Next, si Manila Berlin.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay.
Period and notice. Article 1623. The right of redemption or preemption must be exercised within 30 days from written notice of the sale. This period is strict, peremptory, and non-extendable. Sale cannot be registered without an affidavit stating that written notice was given to possible redemptioners. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So, here you can notice Article 1623, the right of redemption or preemption must be exercised within 30 days from written notice of the sale. The memorizing of 30 days familiarizing you. This period is strict, peremptory, and non-extendable. Sale cannot be registered without an affidavit stating that written notice was given to possible redemptioners. So, ito sa legal redemption, ng provincial road, no? Motong, decide ang judge na pwede yung iba-iba kang property, within 30 days lang. So, pero kailangan, mapakita mo sa korte na notify ka sa mga parties about the uh, right of the parties to redeem the property. Okay? Uy, wala na data. Slide 42 na. So, thank you very much. Good luck sa inyo, Zach. At least, naka 1 hour lang ka. 1 hour and 30 minutes or 20 minutes. No? So, katong tanan na mga nakabasa sa PowerPoint na may karampatan ng mga points, sa katong wala, siguro bawal lang sa midterms for additional points. Anak na lang akong rule. Then, katong mga wala ng attendance, pag-attendance mo din ni sa tawag ano, sa atong chat message. Pero, ayun sa move out, kay ano ko, mag-generate ko sa yung attendance. Wait lang. Attendance tracker. Wait lang. Then, wala, objective lang yung class, objective lang, wala ka ko tawag ani, wala kay ko dili kay lisod ang exam. Okay, dili kay lisod ang exam. Objective lang yun. Okay, at least, natay 74 o 73 students na aton this afternoon na 73 students. Pero pagsulat gyapon mo diri sa ato ang chat, ha? Kay ako gyapon na copy paste for para save yun natin. Export report. Good luck sa inyong exam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sige po.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Kung makita ninyo.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sige po.
Thank you, ma'am.
Magka-paste ako sa attendance, ha?